Welcome back to the Geekshow Helpdesk.
Here we are.
Yeah, here for you.
Sort of live again. You know,
Always
it's like-
alive,
but
but not really live.
Yeah, right. Like,
But we
podcasts
could
are
be
like-
live if we wanted to be live.
Yeah,
Live
podcasts are kind of that
enough.
weird area, right? Like, you feel like you're listening to us live, but I'm probably eating, I don't know, nachos or something right now while you're listening to this.
Probably.
Suck on that for a minute.
This is the Geek Show Helpdesk, where I talk about tech, gadgets, and science-related things. Let's introduce our panelists. He's the small squatch to my rad squatch. He's Jaren.
Hi, I'm Jaren. You can find me on Geek Show Arcade or Helpdesk or on Blue Sky at jaren.best because I am the best Jaren.
All right. And down here we have the dude, or if you're not into that whole brevity thing, El Duderino, Lando.
I still can't get over the Jaren.best thing. Like that.
Yeah, I bought my own domain
That
just for this.
Of course you did. Of
How many
course
Jarens
did.
do you
This-
know?
like,
I think
just-
he's the best by default.
Aha!
I actually know two Jarens, to be honest with you.
So I am the best.
Yeah,
How many are the
guess.
double RON though?
Hey, this is my intro. I want to intro myself. I'm Lando.
All right, that's it. Hello, Owen.
Yep. Been watching a little bit of Archer and really love that scene where she goes, "This is how you get ants." But then there's a meme that says, "This is how you get ents," and it's from Lord of the Rings. I really like that, so I put that as my thing. You can follow me here. Get the best of me here for sure. We have hosts. His name's Tony.
That's me. Check me out on Blue Sky at Quad T or on other Geek Show podcasts.
Can I get
Wherever
Landon
fine
Best?
podcasts are sold / given out for free. Mostly given out for free. Let's see. Emails? Do we have any emails?
No.
Oh, I almost pushed the button. That was a close one.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, someone registered it. Damn it.
Phew. All right. Something you wanted to share with the class, Lando? What was that?
Nope, I'm good.
Leonard's just
All right.
multitasking, not paying attention to the podcast.
This is Jaren's fault, really. I want to see if
see.
Landon.best
I
is
see.
available. Because I want that, too.
All right. Let's kick it off with, let's just get this out of the way. Some Elon
It's
Musk
not.
news.
How is that not available?
Lando.
Lando.
Sorry.
Shut it.
Sorry.
If it's not related to the show. Anyway, making me feel like the dad. I don't want to be the dad here. I want to be the cool uncle.
Let's talk about the cool, the used to be cool uncle.
Yeah, the now terrible. I was actually talking to my one of my friends today, and I said we were looking at some. It was after Trump signed some other executive order today, giving more power to DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency.
Nope. Next topic. Move on.
And
It's
I
my happy
said,
place.
I said to him, you know, I think it's gotten to the point where I dislike Elon Musk even more than I dislike Trump at this point, and
I
that
do-
is saying something.
I will say I've been enjoying the back and forth between him and Sam Altman a little bit.
So that's what this is about.
Okay.
Elon Musk tweeted out, "I'll buy OpenAI for $97.4 billion." And everyone kind of just
Blinked
looked
at him.
at him and pointed
Sam
and
Altman-
laughed.
Sam Altman said, "No, thanks."
Yep. Sam Altman just replied or tweeted on himself. He said, "No, thank you, but we'll buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." I don't even know
What-
if Twitter's worth
what did-
that much anymore.
What did Elon pay for it?
42?
42?
Yeah.
And
And I don't even know if it's worth 10 at this point. The funniest part about all of this, besides, well, actually, the second funniest part about all this, aside from Sam Altman, who I don't really care for either, his
same.
reply, the second funniest part is Musk was so far off from what OpenAI is purportedly worth anyway. The investments that it's going for right now, they're raising $40 billion at a $340 billion valuation.
Gee, many cricket.
So it's like you're not even close with this offer.
Well,
I
there's been
think
a
that's
lot of
kind of the point.
like we were talking about before. DeepSeek kind of fell on its face a little bit with a lot of the flaws.
After about a week of digging
Yeah.
into it.
And so OpenAI gets to kind of stand back and be like,
Told you.
Told you, don't cut corners, and this is what it costs,
Yep.
and so now the market's kind of rebounded, and
Well, when you really think about it, okay, so you know what this reminds me of, and probably no one's going to get this reference. So after all of this DeepSeek stuff, the end result is DeepSeek does have a more efficient model that is open source now that can be integrated into our current, various different current
Right.
large language models and things like that. They obviously didn't tell the whole truth on how much it cost to get there. Just that version of it was whatever they said, but 100 plus billion to get to that point, right?
yep.
Lando,
I have
what?
a question. Did we check for emails or did we skip that part? Or did I
No, we
miss
did.
it?
We did
Okay.
it, dude. You were looking for Lando.best, and we already did it.
Lando.best was available. Landon.best is not.
Well, you
Oh,
want
okay.
Lando.best.
I want Lando, but it's $30 freaking dollars. And I'm like,
Oh, mine
Not
was
worth
8.
it.
where'd you get it from?
What are we
Name
talking
cheap.
about?
Oh, this conversation. Okay, so
This is totally Jaren's fault.
anyway,
So 100 billion.
so you end up
So-
with this. You end up with this better quality algorithm or large language model that is open source and can be integrated and actually improve these other models that it was saying that it's better than, right?
Do you feel like they shot themselves in the
So,
foot by
that's the
revealing their
thing.
secret sauce with open source?
That's exactly-
just to be ingested by
That's
their
exactly
competitors.
what's happening, or going to happen. So this reminds me of an episode of that cartoon, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? There was a
love that show.
cartoon in the 90s. It wasn't the game show.
Oh, it wasn't the game
was
show.
the
cartoon.
The cartoon. Okay.
Have you seen
I
the
know
new
there was two.
cartoon? It's good.
Is it good? I haven't
The
checked
new
it out.
cartoon's very good on
It is,
Netflix.
yes.
Very,
So
very
in,
good.
In the old one, there was an episode when Carmen Sandiego stole this giant diamond, right? And if you remember in the cartoon, they had these teleporters, and that's how they got from one part of the world to the next really fast to chase her. And she stole this giant diamond, and in the end, she took it and dropped it off in their teleporter room where there's this big laser that goes up and it does all the calculation and projection of the portals, and she put it on top of the laser and basically said, you can't use your laser now because there's this diamond stuck to it. And
Thanks for the diamond.
the smart kid, there's a boy and a girl, I think they're brother and sister. The boy was more the tech guy and the girl was more the adventurer. He looks at it and just shifts it 3/4 to the left, and all of a sudden the beam comes back out the top 10 times stronger than it was before. He's like, you just amplified our ability to teleport. You're so stupid. And I was like, hey, this is just like OpenAI or DeepSeek.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they kind of gave up their magic and then
Yeah, exactly.
trying to say what they weren't. And then they had a bunch of data breaches. They had a bunch of security corners they cut.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did they not tell the truth about how they got to where they got, but if you used it, there's a good chance all your conversations are out there. Plus the API keys they left completely open, and some people could have got those secrets. And
Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
it was a bad time.
I don't think
Bad
it
deal.
worked out the way they wanted it to. All right, talking about AI, let's talk about some meta AI news, Jaren.
I have AI news too.
Oh, frick, this is me.
Jaron, pause.
That's why I said your name.
Mark
the Jaren
that
pause,
down on the
man.
bingo sheet.
Take a drink.
All right, so this is kind of continue without supporting us. Stupid R's. Anyway, to help train Meta's AI model, it turns out they kind of broke a few laws to get there. They torrented 80.6 terabytes of data.
Terabytes.
Terabytes
Yeah.
of data from LibGen, and we all know that the written word is very small storage.
Yeah.
It has very small storage requirements. So can you imagine how big 80.6 terabytes is?
80.6 terabytes of documents is
This
Yeah.
is what I
absurd.
This
It's
and
like-
I mentioned this before. This is what's going to come down to, right? Who is your source? What did you train your models off of? And when these companies that want to try and make all this money, when they come down to it, they're like, "Hey, how did you make this thing?" Ugh.
So this company which has more money than God stole pretty much every copyrighted work that's ever
seriously.
that's ever been written.
Let's
Doesn't
just,
Facebook have access to every conversation since 2008?
yeah, but what's more intelligent for its training model.
Definitely not
People's
Facebook
social media.
conversations.
So people's social
That's
media
a very
or
good
books.
point. That's a very
Yeah.
good point, Jared. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen written around Facebook.
Anyway, so
Exactly.
because of a lawsuit, this information has come out. There's an employee that wrote in an email, torrenting from a corporate laptop doesn't feel right,
yeah,
Nope.
with a
nope,
with a
doesn't.
smiley face emoji.
Oh, so
That
he
was
was
the-
down.
that was
he
the
was in on it.
whistleblower?
He was no. The smiley face emoji means he's having fun, and he's just like, "This is kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
having a good time."
yeah.
Then he expressed concern about using Meta's IP address to load through torrents, to load through.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so Meta had concerns about seeding this data as well, because that's
Right.
distributing copyrighted
that's-
work
That's where you get busted for sure.
is even worse.
But the torrent protocol, you do both at the same time. You can
Exactly.
set that in your client. You can set it to be stingy and not
Yeah.
upload anything,
right.
but still you're not doing it right because you're downloading.
So this article says that Facebook or Meta took measures to make sure that they did not distribute as much as they could, but the jury's out on that. To contrast this, do you guys remember Aaron Schwartz?
Why does that name sound familiar?
He
Nope.
was the co-founder of Reddit,
Yeah.
and he downloaded information from MIT. The government came after him and pushed 50 years of prison on him,
Mm-hmm.
and he committed suicide as a result.
Oof.
But Facebook, they take every published work known to man. And do you think anything's going to happen with this?
No, because they're already rich and powerful.
Yeah, they already made
Nothing's
their
gonna happen.
they already made their point. Plus, Facebook's way richer.
I can't take credit for that comparison. I saw that on Blue Sky, but still, I think
It's
it's
a good
apt.
It's
I
app.
think
Yeah.
it's a good one. Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder. So, what, are they getting a fine? I mean,
Nothing yet. It's just come out to
I
light
mean,
that they have
so-
torrented this much information to train their AI.
if you take that, now we know how much text is to store. So 80.6 terabytes is basically every written work that's ever been, and if you do that and take that by
Do-do.
account, if you do that, if you take that and amplify it per infringement, like the RIAA would do if you did music, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen these kids that are getting like $250,000 fines because they downloaded 15 songs and
Making an example out of them, basically.
and if they take every infraction of the law against 80.6 terabytes of works, I would see Facebook paying billions of dollars in copyright.
They won't.
infringements.
Nothing.
They won't. Nothing will come from it, especially with this administration.
I was going to
makes me
say,
sad. It
especially
makes-
with this
It
administration.
makes me sad that there's a double standard in that way,
Yeah.
It's a
well,
sad
because-
time.
because the typical user, I mean, they're trying to push back on the copyright infringement. People are trying to push back on service providers now, saying they have to reveal. Because the buck stops at the service provider. They're the ones that can unmask who's downloading things, right? And they typically don't want to do that because then they start losing customers for basically snitching on them, right? So
But they do still do it.
they do still do it. Comcast in particular,
They do
Yeah.
do it.
they
Do
do.
They do it. Can we talk about my AI story now, Tony?
Yes.
So it turns out, Google, with its long famous motto of "Don't be evil," is choosing
They-
evil.
They abandoned that.
removed that out of
Yeah.
their thing.
Either
years
way.
ago.
Yeah,
Open
Either
the-
way, if
the
you need
doorway
more
for them to be
examples of
evil.
how they're now evil in a world of do not be evil, Alphabet, Google's parent company, has ended its long-standing ban on using AI for weapons and surveillance tools. Raising concerns from human rights activist groups, right? They say using, AI for weapons and battlefield applications could probably
They-
be a bad thing, which
I'm
I agree
surprised.
with. It's
I'm
probably
surprised
a bad thing.
I'm surprised they had a ban on that in the first place.
So
They
it
need
was,
those government contracts.
to be fair, it
To
was
be fair.
a self-imposed
Yeah,
AI.
it was just their own rule book.
It was their
that
own
they wrote for
rules,
themselves.
right, for themselves. But yeah, they decided, in a blog post, they decided, we need to be researching this and understand what it's all about and doing the right thing here and whatever. But internal employees are like, this is not a great thing. Don't do this. So anyway, it just caught my eye because AI, when we talk about how awesome it can be, and I use it every single freaking day now, can have an evil side, and it's just
I put a
not a
I
great
put a
thing.
link in our chat here. There's a guy, OpenAI basically distanced themselves, but in the same vein, OpenAI, there's a guy that used the API to connect it to a rifle and put it onto a robotic track and a robotic tracking. And he basically says, shoot everything. He's standing in front of the gun with some balloons behind him. And he goes, shoot everything that's a yellow balloon. And it goes pop, 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 and just like tracks all the yellow balloons. He does red, he does blue. You can see him.
Oh, it's like a little air rifle that he's created.
Yeah, it's an air rifle, but proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
OpenAI super distanced themselves from this guy like immediately. It's the way, and it's all voice activated too. It's using the APIs to do this in real time. It is some crazy stuff. If you watch,
Wait, I don't think that
it's
is
on a
an air
subreddit
rifle.
called. I can't. I thought it was a pellet gun, but I don't know. It might be a 22 low caliber. I don't know. But if you go, it's on a Reddit.
No,
There's a guy that's called. Damn,
It's
that's
pumping
interesting.
out. The shells are 223. It looks like,
Oh no.
Yeah, and he's standing in front of it.
but I think they're blanks because there's no bullet holes in the wall where it says he's where
Yeah.
it shows him firing. That is wild. My favorite comment is top comment on this underneath it. There's at least 3 movies explaining why this is a bad idea.
Yeah. I'll post this. I will post this link in the show
Yeah,
notes
put
if
it
you
in
guys
the-
I
want to
just
go
put it in my
show
show
us-
notes.
check it out.
My story.
Okay,
Owen, so
okay,
you're good
cool,
to go.
There we
perfect. Okay.
There's
But
at least 3 movies.
There's a bunch of other. He has a few more videos, not just this one, and they are pretty crazy and super concerning. I look at these and go, okay, there definitely needs to be regulation in this area.
Well, yeah, because up until now it's been all self-regulated by the AI companies themselves, right? Just
Yep.
choosing to be good and use AI for good, not evil. But it just goes to show how easy it is.
There's
to
money to
switch
be made
on to
if they turn off these weapon restrictions. Then
Well, here's the thing, though.
Google can start marketing to the government now, to the war machine.
Well, who would regulate it? The government. The government's not going to regulate this, though. They're
they
going
want
to be
it.
like, we will pay you to continue to
Yeah.
develop this for
we're
us.
trying to catch up to you in secret to do this, and if you're just willing to do it on your own, thank you.
Here's
Like
some
you know
money.
that they're trying to duplicate that and to implement that, and
If they haven't already.
if they haven't already, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
actually, no. The tracking stuff they have already because they have anti-aircraft guns and things like that are automatic. You
I
ever
want
seen
that.
that?
Thing
You ever
is,
seen?
one
you ever-
person can create this on their own now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the big
That's-
story right there.
Ultimate
That's the
home
big story.
defense.
Yeah.
Ugh. I hate
All
this.
right. Let's see. Owen, you have a story here titled "Is No Place Scared Anymore?"
Scared. Sorry, somebody. Jaren messed with that.
I did not.
swear he
You
did.
think
was me.
I have?
It was
Tony,
Whoa!
you did it.
Is no
I-
place sacred anymore? Is what it should say.
I did that on. I double, triple
can't
checked that
believe-
when I capitalized it.
Can't believe you blamed me.
Jared,
That worked out so
you can't
well.
really.
It worked out so
You
well.
can't believe I blamed
Totally
you.
something
Seriously.
you would do, Jaren.
Uh-huh.
No,
Seriously?
my things are much more intelligent than that.
I did. You know what? It's been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while, but that reminds me when I changed the links on James on his stories. Oh, that was
That
good.
hurt me though, because I'm the one that would click on it and be like, "What the heck even is this? What are we talking about?"
So here, how about this? Kay Stellantis, who owns Jeep now,
Yep.
when you come to a stop now, you get an ad on your info.
I hate this. This is
Yeah.
the worst.
You get an ad.
Why do we live in
and
this world?
No is not in your not even your infotainment is sacred anymore. Now you get this ad, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's going to be how it is." And when pressed about it, the Jeep representative said, "Well, it's from their Sirius radio subscription." And so now I'm sure you can
The
pay
Sirius
more to
radio
Sirius to opt out
subscription
of
that's
ads.
pushing a Mopar
Yeah, but
extended
they're-
warranty service. Come on now.
Yeah, so exactly. So it's like, you know, the
Every-
meme of, hey, I'm just trying to reach you about your car's extended home warranty. Now
Yeah.
it's just that, but whenever you stop, it starts.
Whenever
like
you
whenever you come to a
stop.
stop, whenever you come to a stop, it plays an ad, a video ad up on your infotainment system.
That is very distracting to the
wild.
eyes.
Yeah, and then
Watching something
and then
move like that.
and then you have to press the X button to like click out.
Not
They're
only
like, you just,
that, that's when I like change the song or fiddle with my phone or like
Yeah.
What?
I
Yep.
fiddle with the infotainment system when I stop.
That's the whole point of it. And so now it's just it's an area, a piece of your attention / pie that they
Your own personal billboard
Yep.
as you drive.
right there, your eyes only. So, but the representative from Jeep said, well, they just have to click off of it if it annoys them. They click the X button real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Pass.
Wow.
Hard
Yeah.
pass.
Terrible. Well, you know who's a big fan of Jeeps is Twyman. But also Twyman is a big fan of pigs. And so Jaron has another.
Does he still have his
Oh,
pet
yeah.
pig?
Axel, you betcha.
Axel? Oh, he brought that guy in once when I was there, and that's the dang old cutest thing I ever seen.
Oh, he's a lot bigger. He's not cute anymore.
Oh.
Well, pigs are smart and territorial. Like they can
Yeah.
be good pets, but at the same time, they can be a pain in the butt pets too.
Well, Jaron has a pig story here, so it's double your fun, Twyman. There you go.
Now, go on a journey with me, would you?
Okay.
In your mind, picture a mini pig. Could be cute, right? But then picture human teeth in that mini pig.
That's even cuter.
Is there a picture here? Before I click on this link, is there a picture, Jared? Do they have a
There is
picture of like
not.
a
I'm
teeth with
scrolling
dentures?
There is
Sorry.
not. No.
Oh,
So the
dang.
goal here is to replace dental implants, because if you have a titanium screw in your jaw, that can create bone loss and infections over time. So ultimately, the goal is to regrow human teeth, and they've tried this before on the stomachs of rats, which is just a horrifying thought.
Mm-hmm.
I shiver at just the thought of it.
Well, have you seen
they were
those?
growing a tooth in a rat's stomach?
Have you seen those crazy tumors that pop up once in a while?
Oh no,
That there's teeth and hair inside the tumors.
Yeah, inside.
that is
I've seen-
Morty
I've-
style.
I've seen
Yeah.
them growing ear and cartilage on the back of a rat's body to like
Yep.
it's for transplants.
So
and stuff.
they take because pigs can grow multiple adult teeth over their lives. So they combine the stem cells of a pig with the teeth cells of a human, and voila, you can grow teeth. And concerning and they use scaffolds for this to like help shape the teeth.
Right.
And like I said, they've done this on rats before. On the bottoms of their abdomens, and the direct quote from the article is, "It doesn't bother the rats."
They don't mind.
A great quote.
It's like a kidney stone if it moves through. Just
It's no big deal.
Doesn't bother the rats.
it doesn't bother rats.
Ugh,
I mean,
horrifying.
by it doesn't bother them, and we just kill them if we euthanize them if it goes
Yeah.
wrong. So,
So-
So rather than growing teeth on rat stomachs, 'cause I don't think I'd want a tooth like that in my mouth. They grow them in mini pigs.
Perfect.
they don't grow it shows the jars here. They don't grow them in. They don't culture them in a jar. They put them in actual pigs.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So basically,
Why not?
now you can have bacon and get fake teeth from a pig.
With the whole
Nice.
You get the whole pig. You get the whole pig.
Use
now.
every bit.
Use
just-
every.
know?
Use
Can you
every
imagine
bit.
a mini pig with a human smile?
Dude, if you saw and
Terrifying.
it smiled at you, and it was like human teeth, or if it just started talking, like it just with people teeth, I'd just be like, "What are you gonna tell me, pig?"
Baram you.
No, it'll just be like, "Kill me."
Yeah, probably. Oh, that's that's some Island of Dr. Moreau stuff right there.
Love it.
All right. Let's see. In other computing news, El Capitan is fully online, and it is wild. The new crown for the world's fastest supercomputer. It is used to secure the U.S. nuclear stockpile and perform other classified government research. But we're talking about a peak performance of 2.746 exaflops. We are officially deep into the exaflop era of exascale.
Give us a
compute
comparison.
computing.
Where's a regular, where's a top end gaming computer come at in flops?
So here we go. Performance is measured in floating point operations per second, or flops, where one floating point operation is a mathematical calculation.
Okay.
Although like-for-like comparisons are tricky, the best laptops usually deliver several hundred gigaflops of power.
So
That's a trillion flops, or 10 to the ninth power. An exaflop is 1 quintillion flops, or 10 to the 18th power.
So us losers are back at giga. We got then we got to go tera, then we go to peta, and then is it exa after peta?
I think it's exa after peta.
If only there's a thing we could type
thought-
into to figure this out.
Well,
So the Xbox Series X is 12 teraflops.
yeah.
PS5 is 10 teraflops.
Yep.
Still, and those are fantastic machines. And
So,
this thing's
but you
really
got to
fast.
remember, when you go up by a power, that's not just like a doubling or whatever. That's
So
a
will it-
that's a
will it
factor
play-
of 10 each time.
Will it play Doom?
It will play.
Will it Doom?
It will Doom.
What's that?
It will Crisis. It will.
Yeah.
everything.
What's its crisis score on a
100 million bajillion quintillion, of course.
Okay, of course, naturally.
It's powered by just over 11 million processing and graphics cores, packed into 44,544 MI300A processing units.
What they're not telling us is they're using it to mine Bitcoin.
Oh, I bet
Man,
they
could
could
you believe?
I
Like,
bet
could
they
you
get
imagine how fast it would mine
0.001.
if they did that?
They get like 1 Bitcoin a year at that rate.
Yeah,
Worth
it. Why do they pay? They should. They should dedicate 1 hour a day to pay it off. I think.
It's a good plan.
Now you're talking like Trump.
I like it. I'm going to be their head cryptoologist. Not to be confused with a cryptologist. Is a
Who actually does useful things.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a cryptoologist. Slightly different, less grammatical, but way richer.
I like cryptozoologists. They're fun. Anyway, there's your El Capitan news. Big, fast computer.
What are they doing with it? Anything cool? Have they done anything cool with
I
it?
already said.
It's classified.
Classified research.
Rats! I want to know what's
Nuclear
One of the other artic- one of
stockpile
the other-
stuff.
One of
It
the other
doesn't-
articles I read said they'll be using it to. One of the things they did say they'll be using it to is simulate nuclear explosions. So instead of having
Yeah, that's what we
to
need.
test in real world, which we haven't done for a long time in the U.S. for obvious reasons, they can run it all through a supercomputer and
that way
see
we can
how
make-
effective it would be.
That way we can make more nuclear weapons, but not ever have to test them.
Yeah, exactly. That's
right?
exactly what it is. Basically.
Why can't we just test them in enemy territory? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I like that, but who's the enemy? I don't want to
That-
get blown
Canada,
up.
obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Canada.
right.
At this point, if you look at the administration, everyone
Everyone.
else,
Everyone.
is
It's
the
American
enemy.
first, baby.
Picking a fight with everybody.
Well,
Hey, our
half
best
of
friends-
America is also the enemy.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Our best
don't
friends to the north, who we've done business with forever and ever, and have backed us on everything we've ever done.
Everything.
Tariff. We want more money from you guys. Screw you.
Yeah. Screw you. Stab him.
Again, this sucks. Next topic, please. This is a tech show, not a politics
we're
show.
We're ruining Lando's
It's
happy
bleeding
place.
into everything. There's no
I-
way
I-
around it.
There's no
I
escape.
listen to Pod Save America for this content.
No.
Well, you're getting a little bit of it here. All right. Owen, tell us why we're getting dumber.
We're getting dumber because of technology.
I believe
So
That's no surprise. I knew that already.
So Microsoft, in a joint study with Carnegie Mellon University, finds that as humans
Is that a relative to the watermelon or the cantaloupe?
I don't
Blind
know.
Melon.
Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie
90s
Mellon has
alt
always
rock
made
band.
me. Yeah. Blind Melon. Probably came from here. Carnegie Mellon always makes me feel like some sort of sweater, melon themed sweater. Anyway,
What?
I don't get that one.
because a cardigan and a melon, so it's like a Carnegie Mellon. Anyway, that was a deep
You're just talking about
Stream of-
bosoms.
stream of thought. Anyway, stream of
I don't want to
consciousness
be
right
in
there.
Owen's brain anymore. It's scary.
Yeah, buddy. Nobody invited you. So they're saying that as we rely on generative AI, they use less critical thinking. Lando?
Yeah, I was
Do you
going to say
agree?
this tracks for
agree?
how Lando's been over the last few weeks. I could sense him getting
I
a little less intelligent every time.
absolutely, I absolutely have stopped using my critical thinking and troubleshooting skills to iterate and be like, like making minute small changes and like critically thinking about code or scripts that I'm doing.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I just offload it all now. And if I don't even look at the error. Today I just sat trying to make a script work, and I would run it. It would fail. I would take the error. I'd throw it back into ChatGPT. ChatGPT would be like, "Oh yeah, here I forgot this.
I fixed it this time. I fixed it this time. I fixed it this time.
I didn't even try. I just kept running it through the mill, just copying and pasting the error until eventually it came out okay. And I think I did that 30 times.
Have you seen those Instagram posts where it's like, create me an image of 2 campers in Bend, Oregon, and it's like, okay, here you go, and it's like more
Yeah.
bendy, more, and
More-
like over and over, and it fades into the mill over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And by the end, it's just like this absurd picture.
Yeah,
That's
more
what's happening,
bend,
Owen.
more bend. Yeah, and so
More Oregon.
it's dangerous because I feel like
So
we're
this is-
living off of the critical thinking skills of the greatest generation that like did space math.
On an abacus.
Yeah, right. Like
So-
they calculated things in space that we'll never understand, and now we're just like, can't ChatGPT just do it?
Here's the thing with an article like this. I appreciate what it's saying, and
But you reject it fully.
no. It's wholly unnecessary, this research, because if you want more proof, just go back to when cell phones became a thing.
Yeah, who
As
remembers?
soon as cell phones
numbers?
came around, nobody could remember phone
I mean,
numbers
we
anymore.
do, because we live. I mean, at least if you're like me, you lived in both worlds.
Right,
Where
but-
you remember not having one. So I have a few that are burned into my.
Yeah, the ones from
skull,
childhood
Right?
I have all memorized still.
Right,
Yeah.
but for the kids that never had to do that,
Yep. But my
you tell them,
kids
remember,
have no idea.
you tell them, I need you to memorize these 25 7-digit numbers.
Oh,
son-
I don't know.
Never
My
gonna
son
do it.
could do pi to like 40 digits. I'm
My
pretty sure he
son-
could do it.
My son, who is 17, who is not here, he doesn't know his own phone number
See, that's what I'm talking
Seriously?
because he doesn't need to.
Okay, never mind.
about. That's
He
what I'm
sends-
talking about.
He'll look it up once, and once he has you in his contacts. I mean, if you're Jaren, you got a harder time because you're a dick and you don't put people in your contacts. But like he puts it in their contacts.
I'm
or
gonna
he's-
remove you, Owen.
Or don't lie to me,
You
Jaren.
get
I
you
know I'm not
get
in
one
there.
more chance.
But
Then I'm going to remove you, and you're never going to come in my contact book ever again.
But you have it memorized, so it's no problem.
yeah, I have your number, so that's all that matters. But anyway, it's a weird because they basically asked for these people that used generative AI for their jobs to try and do it on their own. And they asked, when they're like, hey, how confident would you be to complete the tasks of your work if you didn't have this tool? And they were, don't take that away from me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was that?
There was
That's
a hiccup
Lan-
that came
that's
out of
Lan-
nowhere.
It's Lando having a hiccup attack. So, and it's raising confidence all over jobs, right? Like, I feel more confident. I'll say I'm not a scripting genius with
Well, even
PowerShell or
just as
anything,
a-
but I
as
feel
a-
way more gooder, way more smarter.
I use it as a manager to write project descriptions and just like all the
Oh.
the busy paperwork I used to have to do for
Everything.
like just writing crap, and like it would take all kinds of thought and energy to like write a project description, make it thoughtful. And now I just say, hey, ChatGPT,
Dude.
use these headers. Here's what I want the project to do, and it's like perfect. I got you. And it's like, I'm like,
How
"Oh,
much have you,
sweet, done, thank
Jaren? How much have you tuned out in Teams now when you can just turn on Copilot and have it summarize the meeting? And, like, give
I
you
still
your-
listen.
I still listen
'Cause
because
I
I
have
might
to
get called on.
participate during the
right? Yeah,
meetings.
like I might get called on, so I still slightly listen. But like I don't worry about rapidly trying to type notes and be like, "What are my action items?" Like I don't have all this anxiety during the
I've
meeting.
never done notes anyway.
You never have. You just, oh yeah, you're at that level. But for the people right below you that have to follow your whims, the people that are like,
Make me
the
sound like a
peop-
monster.
What did I
The
say?
shoe fits.
Yeah, buddy.
The
But like the people that have to take the action items from the meeting, let me tell you, as one of those people, oh, my anxiety, I can actually listen during the meeting and like try and have thoughtful conversation because I'm not stressed out about trying to think about what action items I might have because I know that I'm just going to get it from Copilot after the meeting. It's great. Summarizing articles. I did not know, Lando, I did not know you were summarizing your stories in ChatGPT for the podcast.
Yeah, it's built into Arc. It's great. You just open up the find, like Control E.
It's also
to
built
find.
into Edge, by the way.
I'm gonna
No one
start
cares.
doing that.
No one
I
cares about that
use
sort of
Edge.
browser.
Hey, I like Edge.
I
Edge is the
like
number one
Edge.
browser to download Chrome, and you know it.
Unless
You know,
it's on
they-
Mac, then sucks. Then it sucks.
Edge
bad.
has been trying to their latest release. They've
My
been-
only complaint
they've been
about
trying
Edge-
to get you to set the default back to Edge.
which is just pure Microsoft, is they're cramming so much crap into it that I hate it now, and you should not use Edge.
We agree.
Memory bloat.
Yes.
What's happening?
Anyway,
All right,
there you
next
go.
story. Let's go.
Getting dumber by using technology, and I probably should say I fully support it, since I am supporting it.
Since you are supporting it,
I
yeah.
pay for it, yeah, for sure.
All right, what the heck's a timeline app, Lando?
This actually popped up last week while I was doing it was either during the podcast or right after the podcast. I can't remember. Actually, Jaron was complaining about like how his RSS feeder pooped the bed, and how he couldn't find stories. And this popped up, and it's this new. I don't know if it's a new category of apps or what this thing is, but they're calling them timeline apps. But it's basically the idea is one app, all of your feeds in one place, right? So
Chronologically, which is the most important.
chronologically, yes. There's
Yes.
The app I've been testing all last week, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's called Tapestry. But you can put your Blue Sky app, your Blue Sky feeds in there, your RSS feeds in there, your Facebook feed in there.
Whoa. Don't consolidate for me.
It's
That's not
all one
good.
place, and the interface in the UI is actually really good.
Does it let you
Um,
post to multiple social networks too?
I never post, so maybe I don't
feel
know.
that.
I'm a consumption kind of guy.
Lurker.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been using this thing. I put it. It was really easy to add a bunch of RSS feeds, so I added like probably 15 or 20 tech blog RSS feeds into it. I found all my stories this week from it.
Does it automatically bring in the full text of RSS feeds, or are they still truncated?
If the RSS feed provides the full text, you can read the full text.
Okay.
Most of the RSS feeds that I have found do not.
Right.
They truncate
But
it.
it does
You
have a
gotta look
built-in
it up
browser,
after.
so it opens up a window and you can read it right there, and then stay in this app without having to go to a different app.
The
if that makes
RSS
sense.
feed, the RSS apps that I like to use bring in the full text as if it's a full text RSS feed, which is really cool. Maybe some of these do have that feature though, and we just don't know it yet.
So when
Anyway,
you're
this
using,
so basically this is really an app review for the app called Tapestry for iOS. This thing's freaking dope. Like I said, I've been using it all week. I really, really like it. It's a nice, clean UI. I can scroll through it pretty quickly, read a bunch of different, or at least get the headlines for a bunch of things. If something interests me, reading the full story is like seamless. It feels like, and then I go back and keep scrolling.
That's made by Icona Factory. They made
Twitterific.
No, Twitterific. Yeah.
Twitterific, yeah.
They made Twitterific.
a lot of the DNA they said in there.
Does it save your location on
Yes,
the feed?
it does.
Oh, that's perfect
it
for it.
does.
Because the thing that frustrates me most about Blue Sky is it scrolls you to the top every single time, and if you refresh the feed, you start out at the top.
Nope. This one
yeah.
keep. In fact, this one saves your spot and then tells you how many you have above where you are. So the
that's
longer you
great.
wait, the bigger the number grows, which gives me great anxiety. So I always go to the top and start at the top
great anxiety.
because I'm like I'm missing something up there, and then I know I'm missing stuff down below, and I can't consume all the content, and life sucks and it's hard.
I might have to
There's
take a
another
look
app I
at
know
this.
that does this. It's called Reader, Reeder. I haven't tried that one though.
I haven't tried that one either. Anyway, Tapestry is just great. I tried it. It came up last week, and I'm like, I want to talk about this on the podcast because I think it would be good for Jaron because I know he was complaining about how he couldn't find stories last week because his reader died. So this might be one worth trying. It's free. It has a one-time in-app purchase you can use to remove ads, but even the ads are not at all intrusive.
$2 for
So-
a month, $20 for a year, $80 for lifetime.
There you go.
Yeah, I did resurrect my RSS feed, but this does look appealing.
Are you paying for it, Lando?
No, I'll deal with the ads. The ads are super great. They're not pop-up ads. I can just scroll right by them. They're
See,
really
that's
easy to know they're ads.
That's my biggest
They're
problem
ads done
now.
right.
I use the Google app to get most of my news,
Same.
and I scroll through it, and it will sometimes just refresh while I'm in the middle of scrolling
Oh, that's
and
the
take me
worst.
back to the top. And then other times I'll click into a story and be reading it, and I'll get halfway through the story, and the story will refresh.
That's how it is on Twitter too. Like you're scrolling through and suddenly it refreshes and
Yeah.
changes everything.
And I'm like, I wasn't finished reading the story. Why did it load it again? And now I have to scroll back down to the where I was at, and it's so stupid.
Yeah. So Jaron, the author here of this article says timeline apps are the sort of spiritual successor to RSS readers like Google Reader and Feedly.
Oh, I loved Google Reader.
So if you like that, you're probably gonna like this. App.
I did not like Feedly, but I loved Google Reader.
This is
Well, anyway, give it a try.
Tap-
I'd be interested to know what you think
Tapestry.
about it, Jaron.
Tapestry is iOS only for us Android schmucks out there.
Sorry, Andrew. Go buy a real phone. You'll be fine.
He just gives up.
Actually, it's interesting you should say that. So this is going to be a little bit of a tangent, so I apologize, Tony. But there's actually a Linus Tech Tips series right now going on about how he's forcing some diehard iOS users to switch.
Yeah, they put part 1 out today. I watched it.
Yeah, part 1 was fine. I'm more excited for part 2 when they actually get the phones. 'Cause part
That's the
1 was
thing.
just them picking out phones.
That took too long. in
That
my
took
opinion.
forever.
Yeah.
They need
I skipped-
content.
Through most
Yep.
of it. So
Well, they could have done it. They just didn't need 22 minutes of it. They could have done it in 10,
or
Content.
less.
Yeah, it's
So-
not like they knew what kind of phone they're like. They're using Android. They're all the same.
I think that was the whole point of this, for them to show that they're not all the same, though, because they gave them each a choice of like 15 different Android phones.
Oh,
Yeah.
was Pixel in the mix?
Yeah, Pixel,
bunch
Pixel
of
Fold,
Samsungs.
a bunch of Samsungs, Nothing Phone 2A,
Okay.
It was a pretty good range of the different Android phones. Pretty good representation. All right. Hey, this is some good news. We might actually be seeing some competition back in the CPU landscape. A little bit of signs of life from Intel. The Core Ultra 9 275HX mobile processor.
That's a horrible name.
Yeah, both AMD and Intel have terrible names. They're just
They got rid of the Core i series. Now they're just doing Core Ultra, huh?
Yeah. But this one goes on, it moves up from their Meteor Lake stuff that did not do well, and it's the new Arrow Lake based core. And it manages a 34% uplift from the i9-14900HX
So these are laptop chips.
laptop chips.
Yeah,
Yep.
mobile.
That's
Laptop chips.
That's a good increase.
Yeah. And it actually is 7% ahead of the Ryzen 9 7945HX3D, which is a very good mobile chip
Wow.
as well.
That is neat.
It is a 24 core. That's 8 performance cores, 16 efficiency cores, no hyper-threading. And the performance cores hit a max clock of 5.5 gigahertz, which is actually 400 megahertz less than the last generation, but it still outperforms it. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. They're on the TSMC N3B process node, so I believe that's 3 nanometer. And
Whoa, settle down, Intel.
right? Well,
Getting into 3 nanometer.
They had used TSMC. They couldn't do it themselves, but
Don't they have their own foundry?
yeah, they're not doing no 3 nanometer. No, sure. So, yeah, I just thought that was pretty neat and worth noting, because if Intel can get back on track and we have some good competition in the CPU marketplace, that's going to benefit everybody. So,
I dig it.
some signs of life.
I wonder how much they're going to have to charge for that to compensate for the market share they've lost to AMD with the Ryzen.
Well, you never really know what they charge for the mobile chips because they're built into the laptops. You don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they'll just bundle that price into the laptop, and the laptop will be $100 more, or $200 more than it was. So, there you go. And then let's look at this is also good news, especially for people like Jaron that order foldable bike helmets. Kickstarter is going to actually start regulating their platform a little bit.
Finally.
Hey!
So, Kickstarter is
That
going
was
to start...
Indiegogo. This wouldn't have helped me at all.
Oh, that's right.
sorry,
that's
Jared.
Right, that's right. It's the same. It's the same across the board. But so it's going to start. Kickstarter's going to start telling its supporters that when a fundraising campaign faces significant fulfillment failures and breaks the platform's rules, so the notification will let them know how they're addressing the issue. So basically, they're trying to separate themselves from bad actors on the platform that are just doing money grabs and people that release games and then that fails, so they just go do another one. So they're here's a quote: enhancing the backer experience and building trust in our community. They faced challenges with scams and projects shutting down after raising thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. So they're gonna not just do that. Like when something's showing some signs of failure, they're also gonna let creators. They're gonna Tony's rules. I think this was Tony's and Jaren's actually back in the day when we first did our Kickstarter thing. They said, I said, how do you know how to trust a Kickstarter creator? And Tony's response was, well, you basically have to go back and look at their track record. Have they done something before? Have they had successful releases before? What did those go like? Well, Kickstarter's going to be doing that for you now. Save you some of that energy. They're going to start giving you more information about their creators, including their their track record, their collaborators, past projects, stuff like that. And they're going to help. Then they've got things called post-campaign add-ons. So this is for creators. So this is on the other side. They're going to allow you can do this add-on that lets you collect donations or whatever after the campaign has ended. And so they introduced
pledges.
Yeah, last year they called it late pledges. Now it's going to be officially called an add-on to let them do it. And then the other one for backers is called Pledge Over Time, which allows you to get, because usually when I supported the Brandon Sanderson thing, I had to come up with like $500 to get the whole loot box and all the books and everything, right? That was the top tier donation. But now they have Pledge Over Time, which allows backers to split their contributions into 4 payments. So you kind of get to hedge your bets. So like if you want the top tier thing and all of a sudden they're not putting out, you can back out or cancel and mitigate some of your losses by not having to. Also, you don't have to come up with the whole top tier donation all at once. If you're like, oh man, I could do this, but it's going to take me 4 months to save up, but then the campaign will be over. So there you go.
Nice.
That's it. I love it. They're also revamping their mobile app. So Kickstarter's doing a thing. I love that they're finally policing their platform a little bit. I know a lot of people that have donated to things and been like, and then it just didn't go. But Kickstarter build itself. If you look at a Kickstarter, it looks like a real thing, right? It looks like something, a product you're buying, especially if you're not very tech savvy, right? It's like, oh yeah. So I'm glad they're doing it.
Good. All right. Last but not least, we'll take a vote here. Do we want to talk about a smartwatch or a cancer vaccination?
Smartwatch is more important for the world.
For the world, smartwatch?
Yes.
Really? Or cancer vax?
It's a gadget. Come on, we haven't talked about a gadget this entire time.
The cancer vax will still be there next week, I suppose.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the smartwatch will be replaced by then. Whoa.
It might not. It might be on the trash heap. That's
Boy,
right.
you just backed down there, Lando. All right.
I did.
Smartwatch.
We had a email probably about a month ago about smartwatch alternatives that were a good price. New one from Amazfit. Maybe it's a Mazfit?
I like a Mazfit.
Amazon Fit?
Amazfit.
Is it linked to Amazon at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Amazfit Active 2. It's only $100. It's a round watch, not square, so that's a plus in my book. It has an OLED screen. The battery life lasts 5 to 10 days. The reviewer on this Verge article quoted 8 to 9 for the battery life they got. It's not a cheap watch body. It's like stainless steel, good quality. And it does basic active tracking. If you have an Android phone, it'll reply to texts because iOS is stupid and won't let you do that in a nice way. But it just has basic fitness tracking, smartwatch features, all in an attractive package. You can get a leather strap for it if you pay $30 more. It's very slim bezels. It looks amazing for the price.
You gonna do it?
I think I might as a Thrifty 50 review. Thrifty 100.
It looks good. You're gonna go with the leather. Do you like wearing leather? I don't really know if
I like leathers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course you do.
He said that specifically in a different way than I think you were looking for.
Like chaps, like like
I think that's
leather-
what he meant.
Just
yeah.
chaps. You like the leather chaps. Just
Yeah.
nothing in the
Jaren's
back.
a bit of a leather daddy. This is true.
It is true. I know that it was hard for him to give up the leather chair and go with a gaming chair, but
It's because he's such a leather daddy.
yeah.
It's kind of chunky. It's kind of thick.
It's a big boy. I was gonna say this is gonna look massive on your wrist.
It from all the pictures, it does not look like a thick watch, but I found this video on Amazon, an Amazon review, and it's kind of chunky.
Does it say how many millimeters it is? Like the
That's a good
typical.
question.
Can
Good question, Owen.
compare it to your current Apple Watch women's edition. Where the
44 millimeters. That's actually not too bad.
Oh, that's not crazy. That's a
Yeah.
big watch. It's not a huge watch.
Yeah. Anyway, it has GPS built into it.
That's this wild AI stuff.
Five satellite GPS, which is top tier GPS, not the highest, but pretty high up there. 2000 nit brightness for their screen.
Nice.
It's a shockingly good watch for the price.
Especially for 5 to 8 days of business or of battery
5 to
life.
10 days.
5 to 10
Yeah.
days of battery life. I mean, what
Business
cuts it?
use.
I wonder what cuts 50% off of it though. Is it an always
Probably a lot
active
of
screen?
GPS usage.
Does it have
I would
always
assume.
on screen?
That is a good question. It does not say.
Well, yeah. Maybe you should pick one up. Think about it.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is the end of our show today. But before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. And Lando has some more details on that.
So first off, if you haven't, well, hold on. I want you guys to know that our Patreon subs are very special to us. Like, you mean the world to us. Without you, we couldn't do this show, right? Hosting fees, Thrifty 50 fees, Jaren's watch fees, his leather fees, like all the things, right?
His leather fees are
We
pricey.
need you to help this show run, and we appreciate you throwing some shekels our way as a way of saying thank you. But the other thing I want to ask is, if you haven't thrown $1 our way yet, well, let's stop you. This last week, we had some pretty lively discussions in the super secret Patreon Discord channel. Not going to say about what, but they were super lively. All the hosts were involved. We all had our opinions going. Like, it was a good freaking time. So for $1, super secret Discord channel, you also get the show early, both shows, in fact, and the extra in-between show, ad-free, early release. If you give us $6 or more, basically you can put your name as anything you want in Patreon, which I just found out it's a giant pain to do. So those of you who go in and change your name all the time, thank you, because it's a pain, and I understand that. But you can do that. You can go through that effort, and it's worth every single moment and hardship it's worth to get Jaren to say what you want him to say.
Jared, go ahead.
I wasn't teed up.
Jaren,
bud.
do your thing.
Kicking it to Jared. Let's just add a 5-second silence. So Tony can edit that.
Big shout out and thank you to David Roshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Kisaw, and Wheel of Fish.
Now it's time to spin the wheel of fish.
I don't know how to say those. Mugzagali Blando. What is that supposed to be?
I don't know what it is, but I love it.
Mugzagali Blando? Mugazella Blando.
Don't hurt yourself.
Someone is getting their money's worth right now.
Just keep going, man.
Mugzagali Blando. Jason Eatman, special thanks to our Patreon saint, Elon Musk.
Oh, boo.
Hello, Governor, be the 8-year-old, Pepper Keenan, Kyle, Lando is the Patreon simp, Smart Fart, Tony the Excel and Power Apps nerd, Travis Johnson says buy arcade helpdesk stickers at Pyman Graphics on Etsy. They're shorter. Are you happier now, Lando?
No, I'm not, 'cause it's so much
Jeremy,
longer.
No Name, No Color, Keslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, in between rating plus 20. 640K ought to be enough for anybody. 640K what?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Hope it's
Dollars?
Pop-Tarts. I hope it's Pop
Diamonds?
Diamonds? Yeah.
Bitcoins?
Mountain Dews.
Mountain Dews?
DP, Brother Blando, Elizabeth Calsodium, only wishes he was as cool as Ling. Wesley, name generated by ChatGPT. Stuart Lloyd, Tony, hits won't win tomorrow's game. And finally, so-and-so.
Hits will win tomorrow's game.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week, or just in a couple days on the Geek Show Arcade. But until then, Lando, take us out.
If you are a leather daddy, much like Jaren, and you have extra leathers to donate, let me know. I can get them to Jaren. He'll be very, very, very thankful. Be an end user.